This video series is about a SWOT analysis. So when done right, a SWOT analysis will not only change the way you see your company, but provide actionable insights that can be strategically translated into what needs to be acted upon in order to achieve extreme growth. If you're watching this, then chances are you're familiar with the SWOT analysis. SWOT stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And when a business pursues a SWOT analysis, they typically go through these 4 topics and think about their business in those terms. In general, a SWOT analysis is a useful exercise, and at the very least, they can help the primary stakeholders in a company clearly understand where they're doing well, where they aren't doing so well, and how they can improve. At the same time, these exercises typically lack 2 things. The first is they don't go deep enough, and the second is they lack follow-through whatsoever. In this video, I'm going to talk you through the right way to pursue a SWOT analysis and to show you how pulling each lever within this exercise can position you for extreme business growth. So at the end of the SWOT analysis, you should give you the perspective on every element of your business so that you can make the right decisions, hire the right people, and position your offering in a way that guarantees success. On average, you want to conduct a SWOT analysis once a year, at least. The reason why is because it will give you a solid strategy plan to move forward. When you want to have a thorough understanding of a current market environment, a SWOT analysis also shows you exactly where the business stands and what improvements should be made. So what's the right way to pursue a SWOT analysis for your business? In my experience, the best way to pursue a SWOT analysis is not focused on the company as a whole. Instead, focus on a specific element or service line of your business. This could be a product, a service, or a department. The fact is, if you pursue a SWOT analysis that focuses on your entire business, you'll be discussing the business at too high of a level. The strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats that you'll identify won't go deep enough to address the root of any specific problem. And as a result, your business won't end up seeing a significant impactful difference. This is why I recommend you go deeper and more specific. Think about a marketing agency. A marketing agency can offer a number of different services. Paid search, paid social, web development, web design, SEO, it never ends. A typical SWOT analysis that's trying to assess the entire company would never go deep enough on each one of these service offerings. And if you want to grow your business, you'll need to do a lot more than just going an inch deep and a mile wide. In my other videos, we've already worked together on identifying your why and establishing how you and your business are remarkable. You know your business is remarkable. You know what differentiates you from the competition. The next step is analyzing those offerings individually so that you can grow them even more aggressively. And by getting away from general conversations about your business and focusing on each element specifically, you and your team have the ability to become unbeatable. You'll know the ins and outs of every piece of your business, how to leverage specific attributes, how to generate more business, how to build relationships with the right referral partners, and more. This will allow you to make smarter business decisions and increase your confidence in yourself and the rest of your team. What should you keep in mind when it comes to your strengths? So identifying strengths should be the easy part. If it isn't easy, a deeper strategy session might be necessary. Here are a few starters for you. Your product or service needs to be better than your competition in at least one significant way. Try identifying what that way is. Think about what you do differently that makes your offering successful. Consider your assets, what they are, and how they differentiate you from your competition. Write down the compliments that you typically receive from your customers in order to give yourself an idea of where you really excel. Think about whether there are any unique resources that you might have access to. Maybe you have a sustainable competitive advantage of some type, or maybe you have exclusive relationships with suppliers or distributors that will end up benefiting your business in some way. Be sure to also consider the skills of your team. Think about where your sales and marketing teams excel. Think about the skills your employees have that your competitors' employees don't. And finally, think about your customer base, their loyalty, and their size. Once those strengths are identified, there needs to be follow-through. So what does that look like? For starters, once you answer each question, try to figure out how to leverage each one of those. And don't worry, because after this, you'll see a downloadable associated with this video that you can use to answer each individual question. Think about each answer as an opportunity that can be enhanced by just 5% and benefit your business exponentially. So don't hide your strengths, put them out there, and make sure that you and your team keep them top of mind. As for weaknesses, use this as an opportunity to identify those things that you would like to change about your offering in question. A weakness could be a strength or an opportunity with little work. There is no weakness that can't be overcome. But by identifying your business's weakness, you become aware of their existence at least. And just by going through that process, you'll be able to choose a different path than the one that you're on currently. But remember, this is another element that will require a follow-through. Some things to consider when discovering your weaknesses are: think about how you want to improve this offering, as well as what expertise, value, or outcome it might be lacking. Consider the areas in which your competitors are better than you. Consider how your customers contribute to your business and whether there's that one customer that's carrying the entire company. Collect the complaints that you get from customers and see what the most regular complaints or objections are. And then think about your profit margins to make sure you're getting the most out of every single opportunity possible. Once those weaknesses have been identified, you'll also need to identify what individual or department is responsible for making a change. What should things look like after that change is made? And what's the timeline for making that specific change? Nothing will happen without a plan, so be sure to identify that plan as part of your follow-up to the SWOT meeting. The next thing is to start thinking about opportunities. So the most important thing here is to think a bit outside of the box. Don't just consider the low-hanging fruit, but try to think big picture. Think about how you can sell more. Brainstorm about how you can evolve a specific service line. Revisit all the messaging related to that service. Consider ways of increasing overall awareness for your brand, and look at trends that are known to positively affect your offering. Think about different industry needs that you could be meeting, but you currently aren't. Brainstorm ways which you could package your services or products into a bundle that will allow you to sell at a higher price. Look for competitor weaknesses that you might be able to exploit. Think about your target market and assess if that market is changing in a way that can be beneficial for you or your business. So consider niche markets that you currently aren't even targeting, and revisit feedback from your customers to see if there is something they've consistently asked from you that you don't currently offer but you could. Lastly, think of ways that you can steal your competitors' customers by offering something that they don't. Opportunities should be almost infinite, so you'll need to rein it in at a certain point, but be sure to keep all those opportunities accessible for everyone after the fact. The opportunities list should be one that you reference on an ongoing basis as you continue to grow your business. Finally, it's time to assess your threats. Again, this is one that you should think a bit deeper about. There are going to be immediate threats, which might require a lower lift, but what are those larger threats? Think about the threats that might exist if you continue to do business as usual, or the threats that might exist if you don't pivot in a certain direction. Consider any businesses that might not be a current threat, but could become one in the future. And lastly, think about your target market, its size, and its long-term potential. Think through all the potential scenarios. If you're going to achieve extreme growth, you'll need to be forward-thinking and consider the potential roadblocks down the line. Okay, so let's say you finish your SWOT analysis. You've gone deep into the specific service offering or product or department. Now what? Most companies will finish their SWOT analysis and leave it on a shelf for dust to collect. And unfortunately, those companies might never achieve the type of growth that they're capable of. So for you and your business, it's time to set another meeting and make an action plan. Look at that list of things that need to change based on your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats that you've identified, and then assign priorities and roles to each one of those and create a timeline associated with milestones. You need to be able to hold people accountable for getting these things done. Otherwise, they won't get done and your business will continue just as it did before. If you really want to take it a step further, assign a certain amount of time for each party to work on their assigned task per week. Make sure they block out time in their calendar to get it done. And whatever you do, just make sure it doesn't slip through the cracks. It's going to take some time and some work, but it will be worth it in the end. Identifying strengths, remarkability, and differentiators are one thing, but if you aren't leveraging them in the right way, you'll be missing out on massive opportunities for growth. I want to make sure that doesn't happen. If you want to kickstart the process of completing an effective SWOT analysis for your business, be sure to download the worksheet that accompanies this video on extremegrowth.com. The worksheet is specifically designed to help you think through everything that I've mentioned here and help you clearly understand the next steps that you'll need to utilize SWOT analysis for every piece of your business. Here's to achieving extreme business growth. I'm Chris Mulvaney. Thank you.